Good afternoon, guys. For B today, we're discussing Australia's voluntary assisted dying law. Okay, so we're gonna get into that for B. So please join me for discussion B today. Okay, here we go. Northern Territory would differ from down south. The Northern Territory has a distinct demographic and geographic profile that will shape any voluntary assisted dying or any voluntary assisted dying law. A higher proportion of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander many living in very remote communities along and long distances between health services. The NT's recent policy process emphasizes wide, culturally sensitive community consultation and tailored safeguards to address remote service delivery, culturally obligations, and kinship structures that are less poignant in southern states. The NT's legal history and the Commonwealth's past intervention mean the political and legal framing of any new NT law is informed by lessons from the 1995 Rights of the Terminally Ill Act and its 1997 override, producing careful attention to local legislative authority and procedural safeguards. Key political differences likely to appear in an NT-VAD design. Geography and service delivery, criteria assessment pathways, and permitted delivery methods will need to account for remote health workforces, limited palliative care capacity, and long travel times for clinicians and medications. Cultural and community safeguards, provisions for culturally appropriate information translated, materials, community consultation, allowances for family and kinship, decision-making processes, and protections for communities with different views will be emphasized. Access and equity measures. The NT processes highlights active steps to prevent unequal access, both under provision and in remote areas and community pressure in small communities through outreach, telehealth, adaptations, and stricter content processes, legal and governance differences. Local legislative control and oversight, renewed NT authority to legislate on VAD is exercised with heightened attention to clear procedural safeguards, review bodies, reporting requirements, and oversight to avoid past legal uncertainties. Implementation focus. The NT's advisory reports call for staged implementation, workforce preparedness, and implicates protocols for remote settings rather than simply transplanting Southern models. Social and ethical concerns specific to the NT. Community views very strongly. Some indigenous territorians and faith groups remain opposed, so policy documents and preliminary debate foreground culturally responsive engagement and protections against coercion in close-knit communities. Concerns about the NTs becoming like jurisdictions with high VAD uptake have shaped cautious framing, monitoring, and evaluation. Plans in the NT's consultation and advisory reports. Short takeaways. The NT's VAD approach will look different from the southern states because lawmakers must adapt law and implement to remote geography, larger indigenous populations, limited health infrastructure, and the NT's unique legal history. Emphasis will sit on culturally safe consultations, tailored service delivery models, and stronger political safeguards for remote and small communities. Okay, guys, so that is B for you. I'll be back on with C shortly. For now, Gator Wellness. Take care, folks.